Welcome back. In this video, we're looking at anaerobic respiration. We're looking at what it is and why it happens. There's also a quiz at the end so you can check how much you've understood. If you're new here, welcome to BioSmash. I'm Jo, I'm a science teacher. I'll help you smash your biology revision. This is Ben. Ben is sick of studying. He decides to go for a walk in the woods instead. He stands by the stream and skims rocks. Then he sets off down the long path. But suddenly, in the distance, he sees a bear. Not wanting the bear to see him, Ben quickly turns and runs. To run, his muscles need energy. And as we've learned in our previous videos, our bodies get energy by releasing it through a process called respiration. To release this energy, our cells need glucose and oxygen. You might know that this reaction is actually called aerobic respiration. If you're a bit unsure of why this is, you might want to check out the earlier videos in this series. This is part 4, and there are 3 videos that come before it, so the link to those are below if you're interested. So let's get back to that equation for respiration. If Ben's body is going to do respiration and release energy, it's going to need glucose and oxygen. So let's think about how the muscle cells will get glucose and oxygen. Ben's muscle cells already contain a store of glucose. His body gets oxygen by breathing it in, and his heart works hard to pump this oxygen around his body to his muscles. When he's running, his heart pumps harder so that the oxygen can get to his muscles faster, enabling him to carry out more respiration. This means that his muscles have enough energy to keep running. As Ben keeps running, he's going to start using up his supplies of glucose in the muscles. However, this is not a problem because his muscles store a chemical called glycogen. Glycogen is made when your body has got lots of glucose in. So, for example, when you've just eaten a meal and there's lots of glucose in your blood. Any glucose that your body doesn't need is converted into glycogen, which is just really a long chain of glucose molecules all joined together. And this can be stored in your muscle cells. This means that when the muscle cells are getting low in glucose, they can break the glycogen back down. And this reaction releases more glucose so that they can carry on doing respiration to release more energy. However, if Ben's muscles keep working really hard, eventually he's going to struggle to get enough oxygen to his muscle cells quickly enough. This is because his heart starts to struggle to pump the oxygen around the body through the blood fast enough, so it's not getting to the muscles fast enough. This means that the cells in the muscles don't have oxygen for aerobic respiration. So without the oxygen, the reaction can't happen. Because the reaction doesn't happen, the body doesn't make carbon dioxide and water. But more importantly, the muscle cells can't release the energy that they need because aerobic respiration isn't happening due to the lack of oxygen. As we've talked about before, glucose contains loads of energy, so it would be really helpful if the cells could get that energy in another way. And luckily for us, they do. They switch from aerobic respiration to a different process called anaerobic respiration. I really hope you're finding this video helpful. If you are, then please do click subscribe. It will help you to find my other videos. In anaerobic respiration, glucose is broken down without any oxygen. This releases some energy, but not as much as aerobic respiration. The reaction also produces a chemical called lactic acid, which is a waste product. And lactic acid builds up in our muscles and makes them hurt. You might have noticed the effects of this if you've been doing a repetitive exercise for a long time. Eventually, you might find that your muscles start to really hurt because your body switched to anaerobic respiration and your muscles are filling up with lactic acid. This means that we can only keep up anaerobic respiration for a short time. But it's really useful in situations like when you're running from a bear and just needed an extra boost of energy. The lactic acid building up in our muscles is gradually broken down by the body. And this reaction needs oxygen. This is why you might find yourself panting for breath after doing vigorous exercise. Your body is trying to get extra oxygen to break down the lactic acid. This is called the oxygen debt. Your breathing rate increases and you breathe faster to take in more oxygen. And your heart rate increases because your heart beats faster to pump that oxygen from your lungs to your muscles. Before we finish, I just want to mention that anaerobic respiration isn't the same in all living things. Let's look at what happens in fungi. So remember, in animals, glucose is broken down into lactic acid, which releases energy. But in yeast, which is a type of fungi, the glucose is broken down to a chemical called ethanol and carbon dioxide, and this also releases energy in the process. And you might know that ethanol is actually alcohol. So we use yeast and make them do anaerobic respiration so that we can make alcohol, and this is how we make beer. Yeast are also used in bread making. When they carry out anaerobic respiration, this produces bubbles of carbon dioxide, and it's this that makes the bread rise. A big well done for getting this far in the video. Let's have a quick quiz and see how much you've remembered and understood. I'm going to show you 4 statements. For each one, you need to decide if it's true or false. So number 1, anaerobic respiration needs oxygen. True or false? Number 2, lactic acid is a waste product. True or false? Number 3, anaerobic respiration releases more energy than aerobic respiration. Is that true or false? And finally, anaerobic respiration produces water. Is that true or false? The answers are coming in a few seconds, so pause the video now if you need more time. Just to mention, I'm developing some resources to go alongside these videos for those who'd like a little bit more support with their revision. If you're interested, check out the link to the online shop below. So the first statement is false because anaerobic respiration doesn't need oxygen. Aerobic respiration needs oxygen. Statement number 2 is true. Lactic acid is a waste product. It's a waste product of anaerobic respiration, and lactic acid is produced when glucose is broken down without oxygen to release energy. Number 3, anaerobic respiration releases more energy than aerobic respiration. That's false. It's the other way round. Aerobic respiration releases more energy, which is why we do that one in preference. And the final statement, anaerobic respiration produces water, is false. Anaerobic respiration in animals produces lactic acid, and in yeast it produces alcohol and carbon dioxide, but neither produce water. So well done, you've reached the end of the video. You've been working really hard if you've got this far. Now, don't worry if you didn't get all of the key ideas and all of the answers right the first time. It is a lot to take in, so just watch the video again. Maybe you could watch it tomorrow and again in a few more days, and keep doing that until you know everything that you need to. If you think you've got the hang of respiration, you could watch one of these other videos, and together we'll help you smash your biology revision. I hope to see you again soon.